everyone, Whitney here from the Silent Hill Historical Society, and it's time for my second vlog. And in this vlog, I plan to discuss more about my trip down to Konami headquarters. I'm sure by now most of you have probably seen the Downpour playthrough CJ and I had done while we were there. I just want to apologize for talking so much, but I was excited, and I don't take Silent Hill that seriously, so yeah. Alright, you guys are probably all wondering how the hell that came about. Well, it's kind of a long story, so I hope you stick with me. You see, back in November 2010, I started working for a survival horror gaming news site called helldescent.com. I was a staff writer there. And I worked there from November 2010 all the way to June 2011 when the site unfortunately had to close. Well, a month or two before E3, the site traffic for Hell Descent was large enough that if we wanted, we could go down to E3 2011 as press. Now that was really exciting. CJ emailed me and said, "Oh my god, you live in California, can you go?" And I really wanted to. Unfortunately, E3 was actually during my vacation that I had already planned and paid for. I was going to England and Scotland, and if I went to E3, I'd only be able to go a day and then have to fly away, go home. So it really wasn't worth it for me. And CJ couldn't go himself because he lives in New York and he's also a student, and he just didn't have the time nor the money to fly down for E3. So we're both pretty bummed that we had this opportunity but we couldn't go, especially since we knew Konami would have a sweet setup for Downpour demos and we wanted to get our hands on it. So CJ ended up emailing Devin Shatsky and asking him, "Hey, are you ever going to do like a smaller event where there'll be a playable Downpour demo, either like in the New York area or in Northern California, where Whitney is, because neither of us can make it to E3 and we're really bummed." Devin responded saying, "Oh, I'm not sure, I'll have to get back to you, but we'll think of something." So that kind of got us excited. We're like, ooh, well, maybe there'll be another event. We'll get to try Downpour. Fast forward several weeks later, it's the pre-E3 show 2011, very first one. I went to the San Francisco event as press for Hell Descent, even though it ended up being open for press and the public. I really didn't have to go as press. Konami actually opened up like guest lists a day or two before the event for anybody off the street could go and visit. In fact, one of my friends ended up meeting me there, and they they didn't even like Silent Hill all that much. There was just something to do. So at that event, it was announced that Konami was going to be releasing 2 other Silent Hill games. Silent Hill Book of Memories for the PlayStation Vita. At that time, all we knew it was a Book of Memories and it was going to be on Vita. And then they also announced that they were re-releasing Silent Hill 2 and 3 in HD in the HD collection, which was really exciting. And at that time, it was only for PlayStation 3. And I was like, damn it, I gotta buy a PlayStation 3. You know, why can't this be out on Xbox? At the event, it was pretty cool. It was mainly just a viewing party because they already had that video of their announcements pre-made. So the one in San Francisco I went to was held in a nightclub, and there was an open bar. There were some playable demos up front of some of the downloadable content games like Burger Time. I think maybe Frogger was there. But one I did know of before, because one of my friends is actually, the creator is Skullgirls. It's a fighting game. So that was there too, and among the crowd there were a bunch of like PR Konami people, so I got to actually talk with Brandon Cox again. So after the event, we were all like kind of excited. "Oh yay, HD collection, Silent Hill 2 and 3, why aren't they doing 4? What's wrong with them?" Well, while I was there, I did ask, and Brandon said it was because 2 and 3 were their best-selling titles, and they wanted to go with them first and see how the public reaction was. So maybe if this collection does do good, we can get another collection with Silent Hill 4. Maybe that will include Origins, I don't know. But Silent Hill 4, definitely, hopefully. So the next day, CJ and I got an email from Tomm Hulett, and he said, "Hey guys, what did you think about the E3 event?" We were like, "Oh, we're excited about HD Collection, and Downpour looks cool, and we're really bummed we're missing E3. Tomm then responds like, "Hey, we want you and CJ to come down to Konami headquarters and actually play the HD Collection." And we're like, "What? Are you serious?" Yeah, they wanted to play us because I guess we're really big fans and we seem to know what we're talking about, and they wanted us to play through and tell them if anything's missing or looks wrong or whatever. So that was planned for the summer. Unfortunately, that kind of got pushed back and the actual trip didn't happen until September. So last month I flew down the 21st, but I didn't actually go to Konami or anything until the 22nd and 23rd, and I actually flew home the 23rd too. So it was actually the first time I met CJ, so that was really exciting. We usually just talked online and whatnot, so it's great meeting him in person. We pretty much hit it off like we usually do. So on the 22nd, Tomm actually came and picked us up at the hotel, which was actually kind of funny because the hotel they put us up at was actually just around the corner. We could have walked there. Actually, the night before we did walk over to the Konami offices. We're like, "Ooh, that's Konami." Tomm's like, "I didn't know it was that close." So he picked us up and showed us up to the lobby. We actually didn't get to walk around their offices. We only really just saw the front lobby and one of the meeting rooms. But the lobby was really cool, and I did take video of that, so I want to show you guys. So this is Konami's lobby. Hi guys, it's Whitney from the Silent Hill Historical Society, and as a big treat, I was invited down to Konami to try out Downpour and take a tour of their offices. And I just wanted to take a little quick video of their really cool lobby. So,
and I'm CJ, behind the camera.
And CJ's behind the camera. And we're on board. Here they have a bunch of their awards and games.
Castlevania, Shattered Memories Award, all the other awards, Peace Walker.
Check out those whips.
S&M guys, yeah.
And they got a bunch of game posters.
There's Tomm Hulett running.
And then they got this cool statue.
Snake.
Over here we have this like cool mural of Peace Walker.
So as soon as you finish using the bathroom, you have some stuff to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And over here is like a big game thing. This is the best part. Silent Hill. That's a statue that's really expensive. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
And there's the Metal Gear collection.
So yeah, that's it. So yeah, that was their lobby. Really cool. I like the big snake statues. I do think they could have had a little bit more Silent Hill swag in there, but what are you gonna do? There was actually a Downpour poster around the corner that I didn't get on video, but I did find a little bit later when I went to the bathroom. It's of Murphy going right in the rain. It's one of the concept arts. It looked really cool. So anyway, we were led to a meeting room called the Yu-Gi-Oh room, and in that room there were 2 televisions back to back, and each had their own set of headphones and a PlayStation 3 attached, and CJ and I basically took one and started playing. CJ took Silent Hill 3, I took Silent Hill 2. And I have to say, wow, the improvement in the graphics is amazing. I mean, I know Silent Hill 3 already looked good, but this even looks better. I'm not sure how it can compare to maybe the PC versions, but compared to the PS2 versions that I own, holy lordy, just amazing. Just the clarity and the details that are now more apparent when you're playing. Really, the screenshots do not do these games justice. Totally worth the $40 just for the graphical improvements alone. I think what we really liked most is we were finding things we never noticed before, just because before the game was too dark or things were too blurry to make out. Like, there were a lot of graffiti on the walls, especially in Silent Hill 3, that we never noticed until now. For me, in Silent Hill 2, I really liked how all the paintings and photos hanging in the Historical Society were really clear. Like, you didn't have to download texture files to get a good look at what we were looking at. You could just have James stand there and be like, oh, okay, I can tell that's a staff picture, Easter egg in the Historical Society. I think really the one that really showed how much detail was coming through was after James fell through the ceiling. He jumped through that hole and landed in the cafeteria, and there was a crazy Yeti down there going, oh, the gunner said bow. And there was a dead body on one of the cafeteria tables. Well, after Eddie leaves, claiming he didn't shoot the guy, you have to turn around and pick up the tablet of the gluttonous pig. And in the back wall, there is actually a painting, a very large painting, of that room in that scene. You can see a dead body slumped over the cafeteria tables with a gunshot wound, except a little bit different because that dead body now is wearing a green jacket, blue pants, and his hair is a little bit lighter, I think. Now, I think it's supposed to foreshadow your fight with Eddie, and it's also kind of creepy because, hey, it's James again. I mean, we saw a dead James looking model in the apartment complex, and here he is now dead again with a gunshot wound. But in the original game, the PlayStation 2 game, it was really hard to see those color changes. It was because it was just so dark. Well, now it's like clear as day. You don't have to look at the texture files to know that, which is really cool. In CJ's game, he was in the Hilltop Center Otherworld, right? And he found a memo, I think puzzle, whatever. It was a poem on a wall that had to do with coins. It was written in like blood or whatever. Well, usually to get a good look at these wall memos or whatever, you have to go and have Heather observe them, and then you'll get the close-up with the subtitles saying, hey, this is what it says. Well, in the HD collection, we could actually read it just off the wall, which was really cool, and we could actually see spelling error. Spelling error. So I really think just on the graphical improvements alone, it's completely worth it. That in, speaking of the graphics, you know how it's a new aspect ratio? Well, some of the close-ups of the artwork that are close-ups, like when you dig up the Historical Society key, you'll see an artwork of a tin box with a key inside, or when you see a memo, you'll see that memo on a desk, and you'll see a close-up of it with the captions of what it says. Well, a lot of those artworks, some of them weren't large enough to fit the aspect ratio, and so instead of just stretching it or whatever to make it bigger, what Hijinks did was actually redraw edges to those artworks, which I thought was really cool and shows that they're kind of going above and beyond. So yeah, graphically, really totally worth the money. And I know you're probably wondering what I thought about the voice acting. I have to say, they were jarring at first, but I did actually get used to the new voices. I was really surprised how much I did like Troy Baker's version of James. I was a little iffy on him just because he sounded gruffer, but he did have a lot of emotion on how he read his lines. I really liked that. You could tell that James is sort of like, oh my god, what's going on? I really liked Angela's new voice because she sounded her age, which I think will, two of my friends will be really happy to hear that, because when I played it for them, like a couple weeks before my trip, they were like, why does she sound like she's 40? So yeah, Angela sounds her age. Eddie, I'm like, whatever. Laura sounded like a little girl still, so no big issue there. Now, Mary Maria. I really liked Mary Elizabeth McGlynn's version of Maria, but I gotta say, I still prefer Monica Taylor Horgan's version of Mary. So I'm really happy that there might be the possibility that we might have the option to switch. Now that there's Konami and these voice actors are talking to each other, we might be able to switch between the new and the old. So I'm really happy that there's a chance I can still have her original voice in the game. As for Silent Hill 3, all those voices were really good too. I really liked Vincent and Claudia. Claudia really sounded like Donna Burke's Claudia. And what's funny is that voice actress who plays Claudia also plays Angela in the HD collection as well. So just like Donna Burke, we have the same actress playing both Angela and Claudia. So their voice is really good. Heather sounded good too, though I think I still prefer Heather Morris, her performance. But the new one isn't bad. It's not like she was terrible or anything. It's a preference of mine. So yeah, totally worth it, I think, the $40. You get better looking graphics, better sound quality, I think. You can play it now on your PlayStation 3 or Xbox. You don't have to dig out the PS2 if it's not constantly hooked up like mine is. Yeah, really worth it. And I hope you guys will give it a chance, even with the new voices, even if they can't get the old voices in there. Now Downpour, oh my god, Downpour was so much fun. I wish we could have played more. I'm jonesing to play it again. I have to say, the game hooks you right from the get-go. Like, you might think, oh, you know, whatever, I don't care about Morpheus story. No, when you pop that game in and you start it, within like 5 minutes, you'll be like, what the fuck? I have to keep playing to figure this out. It's really great. It will hook you. The voice acting was really good. The graphics, I thought HD looked good. Downpour looked downright gorgeous. I know the screen caps are just so horrible. I don't know why, but in motion the game looks beautiful. Really, again, the voice acting was good. I liked all the details in the environments, whether it was the trash strewn on the floor, the flies buzzing around, rotten food. I really liked how they did the maps and how you collected memos. I really liked that book. A lot of like each map seemed to have like character to it. Like the Devil Pit Stop had like little Scotch tape marks and creases. I really liked the stains. I liked that. Murphy, I did like that he talked to himself. I know that a lot of people don't like that, but I really did. It's automatic, so when you're just in an environment, walking over to a ledge or whatnot, he'll say something like, "Are all the damn roads washed out?" You know, I felt you could really connect to him more as a character just because you know what he's thinking. In fact, my favorite line was, after the Otherworld transition, things returned to normal. He was back to where he started, and he's just like, oh my god, am I losing my mind? I really like that. So yeah, I really can't wait to play. I'm sad that it's not coming out this month anymore, or ever was, to tell you the truth. So yeah, Downpour was great. Now, Tomm and Devin were really nice guys. It was great hanging out and meeting with them. I also got to hang a bit with some of their marketing people too at lunch. They were all nice. I think the highlight though was getting to meet Monica Taylor Horgan. I guess they were in talks with her about the HD collection. I'm not really sure, but since she was around, CJ and I got to go to lunch with her and Tomm and Devin, and we got to talk with her like a good 2 hours. It was great. She is such a nice lady, so beautiful in person, and just you could tell she really was flabbergasted of all the love and attention that they're getting lately for this 10-year-old game. She had printed out a bunch of stories fans had sent her about how Silent Hill 2 had touched them in some way, inspired them, or how her performance really made the game. And she read some of them to us, and one that really got to me was this guy named Delacruz. He suffers from cystic fibrosis, and he's in and out of the hospital all the time. And he said that playing Silent Hill 2, he really connected with Mary's character, and from her he learned how not to push his friends and family away. Even though he's hurting and suffering, you know, he learned through her not to do that. He also found solace in playing the games during his long hospital stays. It really, really touched me, and I was thinking, oh, you know what? More people should hear stories like this. So I decided to start a new section on my website called Descent into the Otherworld, that puts a spotlight on the Silent Hill fandom, like a more personal look. So if you guys have any stories you wish to share about how you got into the game series, how it inspired you, whether it let you meet new friends, made you want to make music videos, make videos of your own, artwork, cosplay, any of that good stuff, please send your stories to me. I would love to interview you and give you a spotlight. So just email me at contact@shshatteredmemories.com, and I would love to hear from you guys. So yeah, meeting Monica was great. She's so sweet. So that was a highlight. And another highlight for us was we were able to do a phone interview with a Silent Hill veteran named Jeremy Blaustein. So we got to interview him on the phone for like over a good hour. It was great talking with him, just because he was so essential to like Silent Hill 2 through 4. He directed the motion and video and voiceovers for Silent Hill 2 and 4. He also was in charge of the translations. For Silent Hill 2, he was there in the beginning. They were bouncing ideas off of him. So it was really great to just twist his ear a bit. But other than that, yeah, so it was a real great time. I had fun meeting CJ, I had fun meeting Tomm and Devin, Monica. It was great. And I was able to get some more items from my collection. So I'm going to show you what I got here. I kind of probably gave Tomm a hand cramp, but I brought a bunch of stuff for him to sign. So he like signed some of my postcards, all of my games. So like Origins, Homecoming, Shattered Memories, Homecoming again, another Shattered Memories. This is my favorite. I got Tomm and Devin to sign this one. It's my Wii version of Shattered Memories. When we first got there, CJ and I were both given some hats. Silent Hill hat. Also this big Robbie beach towel. Also, I was given this really cool Downpour notebook. It's like a promotional item. It's just a blank notebook, but I got them to sign that as well. It's lots of signatures. I also brought my Silent Hill 2. Actually, I brought all my game covers. CJ laughed at me the night before, but I'm like, just in case anybody's there who worked on any of these games, I want to get their autographs. So I was able to get my Silent Hill 2 signed by Monica. I'm really excited about that. Also, they gave us some other swag. They gave us these Castlevania Lord of Shadows shirts. They actually wanted to give us a Downpour t-shirts, but they didn't have any. So that was a bummer, but this is so cool. And also, I got this kind of weird Letterman's jacket for this, I guess it's like a dating sim from a couple of years ago. It's called Brooktown High. But what I really like about this jacket is that the front has Konami embroidered in it. So yeah. So I got a lot of cool new things for my collection. That was really exciting too. I can't wait to play HD Collection and Downpour when it's out, and I hope you guys are excited too. So I guess that's it. So I will see you guys next time around for my next vlog. Thanks again for visiting my site.